Mm.
Oh, it sounds so loud.
It's a lot.
You just burst people's
A little
eardrums.
more. Like even, yeah, a little more.
Is Alejandro, your volume can't be right in your headphones.
Nah, he just got us on blast.
There's no way. He's back from El Salvador, wisdom teeth gone.
Yep.
How much was it to get the wisdom teeth out?
How much was it?
Yeah.
200 for both.
Did you know that? $200 get the teeth out.
No insurance, no nothing. Straight up cash.
Bro, you should have just came over to the house. I'd get them out for you.
What other stuff?
This
Did
is
you get any other
Oklahoma.
medical stuff done down there? Did you do like a medical?
Got my glasses prescribed.
Well, that's why we didn't do a podcast last week, because Alejandro was just in El Salvador and stuff. Someone definitely just fell into the wall.
That was me. I hit it with my elbow. All right.
So today we're going to do the reverse of the last pod we did, which was buyers, feelings, no facts. Today we're doing seller advice, feelings, no facts. So you start. For you, what are you telling sellers right now in this market?
On the feeling side, what am I telling them? Yeah. Well, I think one of the things I'm definitely bringing up in that conversation is this is going to feel different than the way you've done it before, right? Like if you've done the transaction in the past, whether it's in the last 5 years or in the last, the 10 years before that, the result is the same, but the process to get there is very different. And I think that's important to like set that expectation for folks because, if you've done this once or twice, even though it's only once or twice, you feel like you know a thing or two. So you have some sort of feeling about it. And I just want to curb that early with people because it's going to feel different. You're going to have to process things differently. The market's different, all of the above. So I think that's where I would lead, in those feelings.
The worst thing about it right now, I think, for people is sellers, if they're not used to, you only sell a house, say 4 or 5 times in your life, maybe in theory.
Yeah.
The most recent cycle of that timeline wise, if you go back to it, is COVID. And that was such a weird seller's market because people were listing and day of they were having multiple offers. They weren't even able to get to market. They were pretty much being able to name their price, name their terms. They negotiated on everything in their favor, but like the buyers just had to deal with it, right? They had to just get on with it and take it. If you're wondering why we're laughing now and there's like a weird edit, it's because I used the wrong term we have to remove. But
yeah, right.
That has to come out.
Hondro's not editing nothing. He's sending it.
That needs to come out. But what I'm saying is, in the COVID market, sellers dictated everything. Right now, they're finding that really hard. So a lot of that's because rates where rates are, and if people are in houses, their expectation is, man, I'm going from a 2.3 to this. And so sellers need to be aware that the one thing you can control and handle right now is price. That's the only thing fully in your control is your listing price and how you appear on the market. And I think...
And condition.
That's true.
Those
You're right. You
only
are
two
right.
things.
That's true.
But I mean, like, you're not presenting that to the public first. Like, nobody can tell your condition
you're right.
from a photo.
That's true.
But it's price first.
No, but you are right though. Like, if you're going to, that's fair. You are hitting the nail on the head. Sellers do control the way the property is presented, right? So you take care of it. Do you do those odd little jobs that need to be cleaned up around the house? Number one. But with price, which is what is going to bring people in, because that's what they see. They don't see the condition before. You're right there.
Yeah.
With price, about being realistic, in my mind, is where success is coming this year. So the example I'll give is I have 2. I have one client, their house closed now. But when we ran the math on it, they probably could have been in the low 300s. Maybe 305, 309, something like that.
Yeah.
They knew that was a little aggressive, 5% aggressive. And they said, we really do want to sell. We just want to, they have some stuff they want to do. They said, we want to go on it. We talked about 289.
Yeah.
Great. We go on at 289. Day 1, evening 1, we have a over list offer, 4 or 5 grand over list, gets pending, gets tied up, goes through inspections, buyer pulls out, doesn't even submit a TRR. It's kind of weird. We thought maybe they were doing it just to secure the house. So we go back on the market. Within 24, 48 hours, they had 3 or 4 offers, 2 or 3 other offers still coming in. And they had a great offer where they're like, that's exactly what we want. Terms, numbers wise, we'll take it. List price, they're out of there.
Yeah.
Got everything they wanted. Had to do maybe $1,000 of repair work in the TRR because they did a great job of presenting the property. Well, so that's one where they were realistic. The second one, I have another listing where sent the guy just the data. So when we list a house, we put something together called an adjustment schedule, which is where we take the comp data that's out there in the market. We then do our infant school version of an appraiser's report, very dumbed down appraiser's report, make some adjustments, find parity between the comps and say, hey, if all these houses were the same as yours, this is what you'd sell for. And the number I presented to them was like in the mid 500s, high 500s. And they're like, that's great, but we really want to sell. So we were thinking more like 539.
Yeah.
Say less.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's brilliant. You get the market. You're smart.
Sure.
Like, you're getting it. You're
Yeah.
getting it. And so that is the thing right now that's really tough, I think, for some sellers, is because unfortunately what a home is worth and what the market will bring are two different things right now, and they're very disconnected.
Yeah, meaning how they feel about it versus the reality of the situation doesn't always have alignment. And how do you, conflict arises when expectations differ. Sheila McGraw, shout out.
Yeah.
Heard that so many times from her.
It's great though. But that's true. When you list a house, that's the hardest thing, right? And so our job is to market and propel your property in front of buyers, as many buyers as possible, for them to feel compelled to buy your property and cause the sale to happen. But if the price of it is wrong, it doesn't matter how great the marketing is, because then you're going to bring them in, but they're going to come in and go, this ain't worth it.
Let's go upstream inside of the selling, transaction funnel for a minute. You talked about, or we brought up condition a minute ago, and I think that that's probably another feeling that there's a lot of misalignment on, meaning, very often you're meeting with a seller and they think they're ready to be on the market, and you're just having a pre-listing appointment, or you're talking with them. They're not necessarily, they think they're ready to go on the market, but the reality of the situation is that feeling's not real. Speak to that for a minute. Like, what do you feel like that looks like for sellers today?
The rush to list is almost the most detrimental thing I think you can do in this current market.
Break that down. I totally agree with you, and we need to make sure that people understand this.
So if I'm a buyer in this market, I already think I'm getting a bad deal before I walked in the door, because my interest rate is perceived to be high.
Interesting. So they're going in guards up.
Yep. So they're already going, if they own a house, especially if they own a house, there's a very good chance they're below 4%, right?
Sure.
So when they're looking at a house, they're walking out the driveway going, if this thing is crap, there ain't no way I'm giving up what I've got for that.
So the guards up, so they're going to be more critical from step one.
So they think immediately off the bat, this is going to suck. I'm getting a bad deal. I'm getting hosed.
Do you let's pause right there for a second? Do you think that same buyer's mentality, that kind of like prejudged, do you think that's even happening before they've even got to the front door?
Yes. If you're looking at buying a house right now,
Yeah.
the sad realization that you're fully aware of is that when you talk to people about the interest rate you got quoted, right? Because this is the thing about real estate. Real estate comes up in general conversation very organically more than anything in life, right? Oh, what's going on with you guys? Like, someone's getting married. I'm showing a client tonight, just got married. People's talking to them about married life. What are things you talk about when you're married? Where you living? Are you having kids?
Sure.
So there's a 50% chance they're going to have those conversations come up, and they're going to be, oh yeah, we got pre-approved. Oh, you did? That's exciting. And somewhere, somehow, I would bet 8 times out of 10, price comes up or interest rates come up, and they go, nah. You're getting what? Your interest rate's 6.75? Wow.
Yeah.
Our house, me and your uncle, we're at 2.8%. So immediately that buyer's like, wow, this sounds very expensive. So I do think their guard's up. Now, that can be resolved when you run numbers and math and you show them, like, hey, this is what your monthly payment actually is.
Sure.
We're not paying the interest
You can
rate.
diffuse that for somebody.
100%.
But what you're saying is going into, for sellers in preparation, thinking you're going fast to the market, like, break that portion of this down now, because you're exactly right. You're fighting an uphill battle with the buyer at this point.
So you're guarded, right? You know the buyer's coming in and the buyer is guarded. Well, when the buyer comes in, you need to make them feel good about your house as soon as they walk through the front door. They need to walk in and go, wow.
Right.
This is great. Like, I experienced this with my wife last week. Like I said, we've been house shopping, right? So we've gone pending on a property. As soon as she walked in, she was like, oh, wow, this is great.
Right.
So now the interest thing has gone to the back of the mind. Now what we're doing is we're not dealing with an objection. Now we're solving a problem. The problem is, how can I get in this house at the monthly payment that makes sense for me?
Right.
And that's where you want to be as a seller. You need to create such a problem for that buyer that they love that house so much. They don't care what the interest rate is. It's just, can they make the monthly payment align with what you want to sell for? And that's how you present it.
I also think in the preparation phase for sellers that they just tend to think they're more prepared than they actually are. And most of it comes from like people don't live in their house the way that they need to sell their house, you know?
Oh yeah, you're talking about the stuff like we'll get to it stuff.
I mean, yeah, even if you're great homeowners, right? Like still the way you would prepare it for photos and for, somebody to walk through and really evaluate, is this the right house for me to buy? That's not how most people live in a house. Sure, every now and then you kind of get the, savant homeowner that like just lives in like show ready, photo ready condition.
They touch up everything.
Yeah. And there are folks that are that way. It's just not most of the time, right? And so there is a preparative process that, in my opinion, it's worth it. It is going to help justify and disarm and diffuse this kind of armed environment that you're walking into, which is the real estate market today as a seller, because you don't have all of the leverage anymore. You might in certain micro ecosystems.
Oh, for sure.
But you're walking into much more of a level playing field, and you need to present that way. And that takes time.
So there you go. So let's do this then. Rapid fire. Tell me what are the things that you tell sellers, easy peasy, these are the things you should 100% have touched up, taken care of, whatever, when going to market.
We talk about this a lot. Like lighting is essential for photos. So like probably the cheapest thing you can do to help your home photograph, which is the very front end of the funnel. People are finding your house through photos first, 90% of the time still. I think the stats are ridiculous still in this format. Get 4,000 degree Kelvin lights throughout your entire house. Every lamp, every light bulb. Not 3,000, not 5,000, 4,000 degrees. They call it daylight. It is the biggest return on investment for like front end presentation and then in real time presentation when somebody's walking through the front door, actually. That's number one. Paint goes a long way, and a buyer overcharges you on what they think it's going to cost to paint a house, probably like 2 to 4 times the amount of the real cost basis. So paint is incredible. It also just hides, like it's not hiding, but it covers a lot of wear and tear, like your walls, your baseboards, your doors, all of that. They're going to wear out quickly. Paint fades over time, so the color is not the same. Paint goes a long way. And then finally, like if your front yard, right, if the approach to the house, which is somebody's first impression, so like get all the flower beds de-weeded, get all the mulch looking good, or whatever your presentation needs to be like based on whatever region of the country you're in, like kill the front door, kill the front entryway, make sure that the front of the house is very presentable. I think if you diffuse like those 3 pieces, it's going to create a feeling, since we're talking about the feels, of more readiness than not for a buyer.
Elbow grease goes a long way when selling a house.
Well, and these are, some of those have cost to them, and then for a lot of homeowners, that's actually that's a sweat equity thing that you can do yourself. I mean, not necessarily everybody. There's a lot of people that should never paint a house, right?
Yeah,
but the other things like swap light bulbs out, man, that's easy to do. You're not. It's a screw it out.
People think we got like a deal going on with like GE or something like that when we talk about these bulbs, but it changes everything. And I mean, we also, when we list a home, we focus on the 3 Ds: declutter, deep clean, depersonalize. Those 3 things are massive, and they can have a huge impact on trying to help your home sell and make the most of the market in that condition. But
those are also all free. So
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
Those cost you nothing. Right?
Exactly.
So between like some of those things, I think that's a huge start. I'm curious if anything else makes your list in that. It's a great question.
No, I think you did touch on something that was important then. You said about paint being, the point you made about paint being overcharged.
Yeah.
If you have something in your house that you feel it's something that you just need to quote unquote get to doing, that you've just not done.
Yeah.
I can't stress the importance of doing that, because agents notoriously will overquote stuff. I had a lady talk to me about a listing the other day where we need to potentially take ducts from the slab, put them overhead, put a new air conditioning unit on the property. She thinks it's $30,000 to $50,000. The actual number we got back was 14 grand. So she's told her client.
Wow.
Now that kills the deal. Now,
yes,
if that was taken care of up front, and in this instance, you really couldn't take care of this one up front, but there are certain things, if you take care of them up front, like if you know you've got a beat up fridge, that front door is dinged and dented and looks terrible.
Yeah.
Maybe call Han and see if they've got a replacement door. Can you replace a door? And if it costs $400 or $500, that literally may cause your house to sell.
Yeah. Oh, 100% agree.
Because people look at those things and go, well, if they've not taken care of this, what else are they not taking care of?
Yeah.
And it's hard selling a house because you live in it, right? Like you said, if you think people don't live show ready all the time, imagine trying to live show ready when you're living in the house.
I know. It's not real.
It's tough. It's really tough.
I think another huge mistake that sellers make, and again, I think this is a feel thing, is how many listing interviews have you sat in where you're across the way from a seller and they're telling you these amazing dollars that they just spent sinking it into their
on
house.
Stuff that doesn't matter.
And you know what they didn't do is they didn't consult a real estate agent. And so they spent thousands of dollars that maybe gets them 25 cents on the dollar return on investment versus dollar for dollar or $2 return on investment.
I do think that's so it's interesting too when sellers, and this really I think is when you get to a difficult space because now they're going to take it personally.
Sure.
Where I was with a buyer the other day. We were looking at a home for sale by owner, and the seller wanted them to see something that they really admired that just did not connect with the buyer. It was the fact, like in their primary bath, the sinks had the faucets that you can like pull down, like the hose and everything. And she was like, "You're going to love this." And the buyer that I was with was like, just like, I couldn't care less about that.
That's so weird.
And it kind of started on like the back foot. Yeah, it kind of like started him on the back foot because now she was like, hang on. So she thinks I would, because, you know, you're telling a lady, hey, you're going to love how easy it is for you to clean. That sometimes doesn't go down well, whether it's lady to lady or not, right? It's a gamble.
Sure.
So I think some of the things sellers put money into, they see value in. It's tricky.
Yeah, or like, oh my gosh, we just did this, you know, incredible, massive renovation on, you know, our master bathroom, for instance. And what you did is you didn't use the space well, and you picked really weird fixtures, and you knew you were going to sell the house, and you were doing it so that you thought the house would sell better and faster.
Never do this.
And you honestly created a hurdle for yourself. So the feeling that the seller needs to kind of die to is like, if you're going to sink money into your house and it's not your forever house, call your real estate agent first.
Oh my goodness.
Don't call an interior designer. Don't call anybody. Like those people are like, don't call an architect. Those are great pieces of the puzzle. Start with a real estate agent. They're going to help you understand the value. And don't start with a poor real estate agent. And I don't mean in money. I'm just talking about somebody who doesn't do enough reps to actually know what's going on in the market, that can actually provide value and feedback for you. Get somebody who's a professional to come in, talk with them about what your plans are, let them give you some feedback, take it all with a grain of salt if you need to, and then turn around and go to your designer, your architect, your GC, and have them help you like come together with the entire process and the progress or in the project. But don't not include a real estate professional in the evaluative process, because you're going to shoot yourself in the foot.
So I will give this as the close, and then we'll talk about this more next week. Shout out to Shavonte Celestine, who asked me the other day, do you think we should be talking more about reverse offers in this market? And I was like,
Facts.
Man,
Facts.
I think my guy's onto something. So next week, we are going to break down and talk more about in detail, because I'm hopefully going to be sending one out to someone today, a reverse offer, and how you as a seller can leverage that too. Good with that?
Yeah.
Perfect.
You're reminding me, I need to probably go write a reverse offer right now.
There you go. All right. Appreciate you tuning in.
See you next time.
Peace.